Good afternoon, y'all. It's Ned.
And this is Michelle.
And we are My Philippine Dreams. And we are continuing our series on my first year in the Philippines. Actually, it's only 2 parts, so it's not really a series. But what we talked about yesterday was some of the people, the places, and the things that I've experienced over the past year in the Philippines, far away from my usual haunts in the United States of America. And what we're going to be talking about today, or at least I'm going to be babbling incessantly on about, is the effect that it's had on me. Because if you remember, if you go back to my Why I Moved to the Philippines video, I outline and I delineate a whole bunch of reasons of why I came here. It wasn't just for the beautiful, hot, peanut butter brown woman and the sunny skies. There was a bunch of other reasons. And a lot of those have been fulfilled, and that's what we're going to be talking about right now. First off, let's talk about the physical changes that I've undergone since I've been here. Since I've arrived in the Philippines, I've lost weight, right?
Yes.
Michelle remembers me when I was, what, 260 pounds?
You were like this.
I was like this. All right, I was very large. Right now, I weigh about 190 pounds. It depends on how humid it is. And I'm actually pretty comfortable at that weight. I lost a lot of weight because of the staph infection and the back injury that I had. I wasn't able to go to the gym, but that's all good. It's actually better to be lighter and have less body fat on you in the Philippines because it just acts as insulation. It's kind of hot and humid here, as you might have heard me incessantly griping about. In addition to losing weight, I've also changed color a bit. I've gone from basically zombie corpse white to pink.
Yes.
Various shades of pink. I don't really tan. I just get more pink or less pink. But it's good because I got a little healthy glow going, right? I don't look like I'm dead anymore. So that's all good. I also think I've gotten taller.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've gotten taller. I was actually noticing when me and Henry were filming the parade the other day, I was like a head taller than the other Filipinos. So I think it's again the humidity. You know, it's like wood. If you put wood in water, it expands and it gets bigger. So I think I'm getting taller because of the humidity.
Wait.
Or maybe not.
Wait.
All right. But more importantly, and on a serious note, let's talk about some of the ways of being in the Philippines, being far away from home, being outside of my comfort zone has affected me. First off, number one is gratitude. My level of gratitude is at an all-time high after being here for a year. One of the reasons that I came here was because I had lost that sense of gratitude. And when you lose that sense of gratitude, it tends to bring in a sense of entitlement, that you deserve more, that I'm not getting enough, that I don't have enough. And that's not a fun place to be, and I really didn't like being in that place. So coming here, I'm able to appreciate a lot of the things that I have a lot more. And a lot more of the important things, like not so much the stuff, but the relationships, which are pretty important. Again, I had that sense of entitlement. I also have come to realize that I was really fortunate to have been born where I was. I think there's like 300 million people in the United States, and there's billions of people all around the world, so it's basically a roll of the dice as to where you're born. And I was born in a pretty cool country with a pretty strong economy, good education system, good infrastructure, and it's made me appreciate that a lot more because the Philippines is a developing nation. It's moving along. Hopefully it doesn't move along too quickly because then the dollar will lose value against the peso and all the expats will have to leave. But it really brings about the gratitude that you have. You know, we have social support net systems in the United States. They don't have those here. You know, they have a social security system, but it's not like the one we have. And you see a lot of old people, you know, basically relegated to being out in the streets begging and stuff. And that's the social support network is begging. You see a lot of street kids, a lot of little street beggars and stuff, and it breaks your heart. And it just, again, it makes you appreciate the opportunity that you have being born in a quote unquote first world country. Another thing that it brings about is a sense of humility. I'm the most humble person I know. And humility is important. That's another thing that I had lost. And let me give you a quick example of, and there's things around here that humble me. You know, again, people working really hard just, you know, to get their next day's rice, making the sacrifices that they're making and all that stuff. It's pretty humbling. And let me give you an example, a quick example. When I first came here, I would not give money to the street kids, to the beggars and stuff, because everybody had said, oh, don't give it to them. It just, encourages them, and they're going to be picking your pocket and all this stuff. So whenever the kids would come up, I'd be just like, voila, Dili, I got nothing for you. And then I saw this one when she came to Dumaguete and we started spending a lot of time together. I saw you doing what?
What? What did I do?
Giving
What?
money to the street kids.
They need it.
She'd reach into it, and she doesn't make nearly as much as me, because again, I work for U.S. dollars, she works for pesos. But she would reach into her purse and give the street kids change, pesos. And that was humbling. And here I am, I got all this money and all this stuff, and I wouldn't give it to them. So, it kind of made me, it wasn't so much a guilt thing, but it was just a humbling thing. And we need that. I think that's important. Also, patience. I've learned to be patient. If you can't develop a sense of patience here, you're going to be in for a long, difficult journey. Things are different here. Things aren't as efficient as they are in the United States. So you're going to find yourself lining up in queue a lot for, basic functions. So make sure you have your little Android phone with some games on it and stuff, because, have something to do while you're waiting in line. A lot of things are going to be out of stock. You're not going to be able to accomplish all the missions that you set out every day to do. So you got to develop that sense of patience. You're going to get stuck behind tricycles sometimes. You're going to be slow drivers. All the stuff, all the stupid stuff that drives you crazy. One of the things that it leads into is also, and this goes back to gratitude and stuff, is developing a sense of compassion and a sense of empathy. Understanding how the system works here, and the reasons why it's not that efficient, but how it's getting there. It's developing over time. And again, the compassion and the empathy, again, seeing the human condition stripped of all the accoutrements and all the stuff that we typically judge other people by, and seeing actual people just on the day-to-day working really hard, and again, making the sacrifices that they're making for family. I see that out there, and I see that here. Michelle working really hard to taking care of her people. Also, I realized the importance of prioritizing. What's really important? I got rid of all my stuff when I left the United States, most of my stuff, and I haven't accrued a whole lot of stuff here. And I'm doing that for a reason. I'm trying to focus more on relationships and the things that are more important than having stuff. And I'm getting more successful at that. Trying to develop a sense of spiritualism, not in the religious sense, but making connections to things greater than myself. Meaningful things. And that's been a process, and that's one thing I've been able to do. Unfortunately, the learning process reveals some ugly warts, some character flaws, some character defects, if you will. Getting outside of my comfort zone and doing this and all has revealed some pretty nasty things about myself and some things that I don't like to see. The first thing is my temper. As much as I talk about Bahala Na and developing a sense of patience and having compassion and empathy and all that stuff, some days I go a little bit crazy. And I can't take it, and I have little temper tantrums. I don't throw things around and cry and wail or anything, but inside it has a really profound effect on me. I let it have an effect on me, and I don't like it. And I just think all these negative things in my mind, and I rush back home, and I turn on the air conditioner, and I hide in my room.
Yep.
Yeah. In counseling, we call it a broken copa. I have my coping mechanism is not working correctly. It's not making that full adjustment. But again, it's a process, and hopefully I'll get better over time. Another problem I've been having is time management. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. And like the other day, I got nothing accomplished. Again, because I let myself get distracted. When you don't have those external motivations in place, you're not working for somebody else and they're watching you and stuff. You really got to develop those internal structures to make for effective time management. And there are things that I'm trying to do and trying to accomplish, and my to-do list gets longer and longer because I'm not doing them. So making sure that you have that is important. It's one of the things that I'm lacking. So my temper, my broken coping mechanism, and my pretty piss poor time management skills. Any other flaws that you'd like to add, hon?
I have my fill of the day.
Yeah, my quota. Sometimes my Philippines quota gets filled really early in the day, and I just have to go home and hide in my air-conditioned room. It happened last week, by 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. But we're working on it. Again, if you're planning on coming to the Philippines, if you guys are watching our videos and watching Henry's videos, and you have this great plan, oh, it's great, it looks like it's a lot of fun. A lot of times you're seeing a lot of the positive. I've gone to great measures to make sure that we outline all the negatives that there are to living here for a foreigner. So make sure you keep those in mind. And also, if you're going to come here, don't put all your eggs in one basket like I did, and just come here. Make sure that you visit first. And when you get here, don't make any major decisions for at least 18 months. Don't get married. Don't buy a car like I did. Don't do anything major. Getting a scooter is one thing and all that. But don't make any major decisions or buy any major big ticket items like condos or anything like that. Guys, I've heard some guys saying, oh, I'm going to get an SRRV visa and buy a condo. And they haven't visited yet. You might get here and say, my God, I can't stand the congestion, I can't stand the heat, I can't stand the humidity, and I have to wait in line for things. I can't take it. And then you have to find yourself selling your small little condo, and it's on the market for, 20 years because you can't sell property here, basically. It just sits there. So that's about it. That's how some of the effect that this past year has had on me. I hope I was somewhat coherent. You can actually go over to our blog over at myphilippinedreams.com, and I'm going to have the full article with a lot of pictures from this last year up there, and it should be more coherently written out. And again, there's going to be a lot of pictures and stuff on there. But it's been really great. I've really come to appreciate a lot of things, and the number one thing that I've come to appreciate is the person sitting next to me. After being here for a year and seeing some of the horror stories and horror shows that other guys have gone through, I really, really appreciate what I got. And not a day goes by that I don't, recall that. So that's it. The journey continues. And with that, we'll see you next time. This is Ned.
And this is Michelle.
We are My Philippine Dreams. Take care.